Hey, TSD, can you promote Iris to a panelist? Thank you.
Said Tom. Hi, Jeff. Are you working hard?
I would say yes, but not really this week. I'm in Oklahoma City at my daughter's in a softball thing.
Oh, really? Great.
So she's living out her dream of playing on the same field where they played the World Series for the softball. So
Oh, nice, nice. What fun. That's good. Is it that hot there as it is here?
Yesterday when we came back, my cars told me it was 115.
Yeah, well, it's about not quite 100 yet here, but it's about 80, 95 or 98.
It probably feels worse there, but it doesn't feel good anywhere.
Well, I'm glad I'm not in Europe. I do have family in France and I have some family in Holland, so I worry about them.
Mm-hmm. You know, my mom grew up in Germany, so.
Oh, yeah. That never got that high. I know one year when I was in Holland, it got to be in the 90s. It was in June. And that was 1955, I think. 53, when did Queen Elizabeth get inaugurated? 53? That's the year.
I'm not positive on that.
We were in Holland at that time, so. So who will we have come in?
I did not see anybody say they weren't able to make it.
Okay, well, I appreciate you hooking me up, though. My foot is doing well, but the less I have to walk on it, the better it is. But I've had to walk on it a little bit today because this morning's appointment.
Well, best to rest that, get it healed.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of fun having these boots on. This was not a very high boot, but it does make a difference. But I notice it because I haven't put the ice on it this afternoon. So that's what I'm going to do after we finish. So. Is anybody there to talk about a residential TIF, or are we just going to?
I don't think we have any speakers today.
Okay.
I think we've invited the school board or the superintendent and the president of the school board, and they are able to make it in August, but not in July. So that'll be
okay. That's okay. As long as we have a date, they have a calendar.
Mm-hmm.
What's our rule on quorums?
We need 3 in person.
We need 3 in person or 3 total, 2 in person?
I think we need 3 in person because it's a 5-member board and you have to have a quorum in person.
Yeah, we're not, I don't know if we're going to have 3 in person.
Well, we have Richard, and Lisa said she was coming in, and so are you, Richard.
Yeah, I haven't seen any message from Colin saying he's going to be here.
That's what I was surprised at, because I thought maybe we'd see him.
Yeah,
He's
he
usually
usually
pretty.
responds, so he might be out of town.
That's true, but he's usually pretty good about responding, so.
How's your trip, Jeff?
It's hot.
It's hot here too.
It's hot, and This was kind of a invitation extended a real shortly before we had to be here. So it was not only hot, but I don't typically drive long distances, and it was a nice haul.
Good.
In
That's
Oklahoma?
What's that?
Are you in Oklahoma?
Yes.
Toby's out in Wyoming.
Good for him. I hope it's cooler north.
On Monday, he had called us at the office and said it was 99.
Well, that is cooler. Let me see if I can,
What, anybody else?
I'm gonna see if I got an email from Cullen that I missed.
Well, you still got 4 minutes to go.
I didn't see one at 3:30.
No.
Yeah, I do not see a response from him.
He's usually pretty good though, so I'm surprised.
The only thing of any urgency are the claims.
Right? And the minutes,
Since I've already authorized that, we need to take an action before they can cut the check, or have they already cut the check?
I think we would cut the check. And
Yeah,
probably already have.
Yeah,
So I don't think there is anything of real urgency,
right.
although I would like to let you guys know what Lisa and I are thinking about the Fulton Pike TIF project.
okay.
But we'll wait the 3 minutes or 5 minutes and see if Colin shows up. If not, I think we could have a discussion, but no, we just can't vote on anything.
Well, Lisa was supposed to be here too, but she's not here yet, so
Okay.
Colin often comes right on time.
Mhm.
I bet those
Well, I'm glad I'm not in southern France. That sounds awful.
Do I, Iris?
It's 100 degrees there and fires in southern France. And unfortunately, I have some family there, not immediate family, but extended family.
It's supposed to be like 105, 106.
Yeah. Temperature hadn't been over 100. Yeah, that was my plan for this morning, but I ended up having to do some other stuff. So it's my plan for tomorrow morning.
Cool.
Yes,
Hi.
there, Lisa.
Not sure we're gonna have a floor. Yeah, I kind of was worried about that. Wait for the bell to ring.
If Colin shows up.
Hi, online people. That's the way. Our planning commission got canceled Tuesday night.
Actually, I got here for train. I was just happy about this. You know, it's like, oh, shit. It's fine over here, and then software is not. Yeah. So it's-
Busy construction people. I did get this is sorry today.
Yeah, now you gotta do North Old 37 now that you've done Whitnett Road. Unawardable. Yes. Oh, yeah, it's really dangerous.
What's that?
How long are we gonna wait?
I hope not too long.
We'll give them 5 minutes after the meeting's supposed to start.
I thought Jim Sheldon was gonna come and,
He was gonna come
He's-
virtual.
He's here.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Jim.
Hi.
I just didn't see you. I see everybody else.
Just that one. Yep, the Kreider. I've already signed it, so. I'm sure you've already paid it. Are they ever gonna do anything about that street? Promise?
Lisa, I can't hear you.
We were just chit chatting over past bills.
Right, well, that's okay. We ought to be in the loop,
Oh, yeah,
probably.
I'll tell you anything.
Okay, that's good.
So if he promised by the end of the month, we should take it, because we're gonna close the project if we don't receive the bill by the end of the month.
I was telling Richard and Lisa that I did reach out to Jeff Kreider this week and called him about the Heart Straight bond and trying to get that final payment. He promised he'd have it to me by the end of the month, which is next week.
Okay, right. Good.
I'm
We'll
trying to
see.
get Profile Parkway last payment for that one too. That one will, I know you had concerns about it coming in under budget and still,
Right.
and it will
Good.
quite a bit because we didn't have to haul as much as we had anticipated when we set up the contract. So
That's great.
Under the
Yeah.
saving. Okay. I don't believe we're going to have a quorum.
I
So
think, right,
we're going to do. We cannot take any official action. But if you wanted to have a brief discussion about your Fullerton Pike TIF bond ideas, if it would be useful, we could do that.
I think it would be a little useful, because I think I want you guys informed on what we're thinking, because I think Lisa and I are gonna try to talk to the county council about it, and I'm gonna talk
okay,
to the county commissioners about it. If you all recall, when we did our annual reports, when we looked at the Fulton Pike TIF, we had talked about the potential to have the Fulton Pike TIF be a part of a larger bond, which would include other funding sources, most notably the Major Bridge Fund, to do a couple major bridge projects. Clearly, the Phase 3 Fulton Pike project includes a major bridge, and that would be what we would expect if we decide to go this route. The Fulton Pike TIF fund to be one of the items pledged towards repayment of that bond, as well as the major bridge fund. There's a second major bridge. I think both projects, our total estimate for both of those projects is around 18 million. We do have quite a nice cash reserves right now in our major bridge fund. And so we think we can get that bond to include both of those. The funds, the funding of it from just major bridge would probably be sufficient. But we also want to make sure we utilize our Fulton Pike TIF fund, working with Financial Solutions Group to kind of look at, how long do we want it and those kind of issues. But it doesn't look like there would be any problem from a cash flow perspective to make that kind of bonding happen. Just kind of wanted to give you guys that update to make you aware that we're looking at that and potentially moving forward with that. I don't recall, and maybe Lisa does, kind of time frame for when those projects will be let and what we would need basically to have the bonds completed by. I didn't think either one of those were in this calendar year. So I think we have some time on that, but I think we're going to start looking at that route.
So how much time do we have left on that TIF?
That TIF, I believe, started in 2007. I'll have to double check that. So we've got, and I believe it was a 25-year TIF. So we've got, 8 to 10 years left on that.
And we could create a bond, but would we have to have the bond paid off when the TIF paid off, or would the bond survive the TIF?
I think the bond probably could survive the TIF. However, I don't know if that makes a lot of sense to do
Right.
it that way. I think the cash flow coming into that would make it so we probably would not have that bond extend beyond the end of that TIF, or if it does, only for a nominal amount of time to get to a number of years that lenders like.
Okay. No, that seems reasonable.
Sure does. That's great.
There aren't going to be any other ways to pay for that bridge.
No. Yeah, we have, and Jeff's right, the letting date right now for that Fullerton Pike project is July 23rd, 2023. So, and then we would anticipate the other bridge is Mount Tabor Road Bridge, maybe taking that to a letting in that fall. But we just kind of want to have everything in place, especially since we have federal funds tied to the
Right.
Fullerton project, to have all the funds in line before we go to letting.
No.
No, this is for DC. This is Redevelopment Commission.
Thanks. Somebody told me this was jail.
Oh, sorry.
If he's looking for that other meeting, I believe it's probably in the council conference room. So we may check in there.
Jeff,
You know where that's at?
So this would essentially allow us to divert bridge funds to Mount Tabor and essentially make up for them through the bond that we would have it at Fullerton. That's the idea here.
I want to make sure it's clear that any of the TIF funds would only be allocated towards the Fullerton Pike TIF project.
Right. But because we would have more funds for Fullerton Pike than we have now,
Mhm.
allow the cumulative bridge fund
Major bridge.
to be diverted to do Mount Tabor as well as some for Fullerton Pike.
Yeah, we would be using quite a bit for Fullerton Pike
Right.
Bridge
Yeah.
from utilizing major bridge funds through that bond.
Right.
Yes.
So Lisa, how long is that Fullerton Bridge going to take?
We anticipate that we'll be done with construction at the end in 2025. But I think we allot around 18 months. And if it
Okay.
goes to July, by the time you get the contracts, you're already in the fall.
I know.
So construction season would be 2024.
Okay,
Will that be all of phase 3 by then?
Yes, that will be the completion of phase 3.
Okay. Thank you.
That seems like if we can make the money work, that seems like a reasonable way to do this.
Yeah, the major bridge fund's a good resource for both these bridges due to their size and cost.
So Greg's going to look into this for us and
Yes.
we can, all right, great. Thanks for looking into that. This is good.
And any other discussions that we can have while we're not in a quorum?
So I would just let the RDC know that I have reached out to the superintendent of MCCSC. He is and the president of the board are planning to attend the August meeting. And again, that's one of the steps that's required for a residential TIF. So that'll be part of that discussion will happen in August. I also think the presentation by the RBB will happen in August as well. So we'll have a school board meeting next month.
Good. Does that then fulfill our obligations to reach out to people before we move on?
I'm still gonna need to get with planning to see if there's any neighborhood associations that will be affected by this.
Okay.
I'm not aware that neighborhood that's just north of the TIF has a neighborhood association.
right.
Do we have, Jeff, financial information that we want to present to NCCSC regarding the potential TIF on next August, at the August meeting, or is this just going to be an initial conversation about it?
I am sorry, could you repeat that?
Sure. Do we have the financial calculations that we want to present to them in August, or are we just, is this just an initial conversation about the idea of doing a residential TIF in that area?
I don't think we have any financial information yet. I think we still have some conversations about density and the number of units that we anticipate to be in the residential TIF. And so I don't think we have those numbers yet. I think that's one of the questions that we need to work through in the next few meetings as to, what kind of density are we really looking at for that area?
All right. Any other comments from staff?
Well, hey, Richard, BEDC has their hand up.
Okay,
I assume it's Jen Pearl, but
Mhm.
Hi, everyone. Is it appropriate to share a public comment?
Not really.
Yes, Jen.
Thank you so much. Well, I actually just wanted to share an invitation with members of the RDC, as well as any members of the public that might be interested. The BEDC is working on something called the Economic Vitality Project. And that's a project where we're convening people across the community to improve life for those who live and work in Monroe County. And it's focusing on such areas as housing, workforce, infrastructure, employment, quality of life. And really, we're setting out to do three things. One is to convene partners across the community on priorities we may wish to tackle together. Number two is to better support existing initiatives to move the needle on the items that I mentioned. And number three is to move actions forward to fill in the gaps where maybe additional action is needed. And it'll start being implemented in 2023. If members of the RDC or if anyone in the community is interested in getting involved, we have an engagement survey that's on our website. It's bloomingtonedc.com/EVP. So that's Bloomington EDC, like Economic Development Corporation.com/EVP, like Economic Vitality Project. And we are trying to get a multitude of voices from all parts of the community. And if folks are interested in joining us, we welcome you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Jeff, be sure you put that email address in the minutes.
Right,
Yes.
please.
Okay.
Lisa, did you have something else? Lisa, right?
The only thing I was going to give you an update on the Curry Pike project.
Yeah,
We were about a month ahead of schedule right now. As it looks right now, we would be opening the roundabout at the end of September.
good.
Good.
We'll need it by then, for sure.
You're gonna get that other side done that fast?
Mhm.
Yeah, I just went through there the other day.
I know, I was just through there today, but we had our progress meeting yesterday and it's moving along, so. As long as weather cooperates, then,
Right.
Then they'll have that part of it done and then they'll start on the other part. Okay,
Good. Congratulations.
any other comments, questions? Again, we don't have a quorum, so we haven't taken any action. We've received reports and some discussion for actions to be taken in the future. And with that, since we don't have a quorum, I will call this meeting closed. Thank
Thank
you all.
you.
Thanks, all.
Thank you for letting me stay home. I appreciate that. I'm doing well, though. I'm not completely immobilized. Thank you. Happy days. Enjoy the weather. I mean, don't melt in the hot weather, in this hot weather.
Mhm.
Jeff, enjoy the sports.
Oh, thanks for coming.